This is a video on Cannith crafting. I've accumulated quite a few goods over the course of my leveling up to 30. I currently have 37,811 essences. I have 11 small Eberron Dragon Shard fragments, and I received a greater crafting experience elixir from running the tutorial on one of my Bang characters. And I'm in House Cannith. I'm going to grab this lift. So this lift is located near the crafting hall here, and this is the way that you get to the vendor for and patron for House Cannith. So I went here to get my first and second tier House Cannith favor. The first tier gives me access to the vendor. The second tier gives me Artificer unlocked. Alright, so once I'm up here, I've already talked to the patron, so I already have my favor. It's I have my second tier favor. I pretty much stopped once I got to 150 with challenges. And there's a few things we're going to want to get from the House Cannith vendor for our big crafting session. The first thing, I don't think we'll need this other experience elixir. It's a pretty small percentage anyways. This one from the tutorial is a little better than a little worse than what's available as the top tier from the store, but still pretty good. So I'm going to grab about 300 of these. So pretty cheap. It's only let me do 100 at a time, so I'll grab them in stacks of 100. And then I'm going to grab 100 of these. These are very key. These allow you to add a third item to crafted items. So these are a key thing you'll want. The limiting factor is actually going to be these. There's a thing in crafting called Purified Eberron Dragon Shard Fragments that you can either get from the DDO store, you can get from converting Eberron Dragon Shard Fragments. It's 1-to-1 for a small, 2-to-1 for a medium, 3-to-1 for a large. Mediums I think you should use for experience elixirs. Smalls and larges I think I would use for Purified Eberron Dragon Shard Fragments. So 11 isn't very many. That gives me enough to only make 2 insightful items. But I'm going to go ahead and buy 100 of these just because you never know when you need to craft it, and you know you could only get access to these when you have the favor. So I'm going to stock up on them now. Uh, a few items you can get from the DDO store if you have points or money and want to make this process easier. I have let me pull these boosters out of here. So these are 10% boosters, and these are available for a small amount of money for once you get House Cannith favor. So I'm going to get a lot of these. These came from the crafting tutorial. To explain the 30, I only have 3 character slots. Each tutorial gives you 5. So this character did the tutorial, and then as I went from basically being able to have at first I created a level 1 character, so I'd created 2 level 1 characters, ran through 2 tutorials. Once I got access to create a level 4 character, I deleted those characters, created level 4 characters, ran through the tutorial with those 2. Once I had access to level 7, I deleted the 2 level 4 characters, created new ones at level 7, and ran through the tutorial 2 more times. So that's 6 times on the 2 character slots, and once on my main character, and that's how I basically ran through the tutorial 7 times. Technically, you could run through that as many times as you want, unlimited, but I'm doing it for just more practical reasons. I wanted to create higher level characters for my banking characters, and 7 is as high as I can go, and now I have items in there, so it's a little hard to do that. But I did delete one of the characters, and so I could transfer over from hardcore, and I have another 15 of these on hardcore that will transfer over when I do that. Also, you could buy 35% boosters from the store, and if you have money, that's a great way to make the crafting. You buy 100 of these are actually pretty cheap, and you could buy 100 or 150 and you'll use a lot less essences to level up. I'm going to have to go through a lot more essences because I'm going to be using these 10% boosters, and then I'm going to switch to 25 once I get to a higher crafting level. This potion, we only need one for a big crafting session. I'm going to do one per life, so next life I'll probably get another crafting experience elixir and stick it in the bank when I run through the tutorial. And I'll go through another crafting session next life to get up to hopefully to where I can craft everything in the game. My goal this life is to get to about 250. I'm currently at 106, and it sounds like I've made a lot of progress. I've done this really just through breaking down items. I've deconstructed 1,800 items, and so I've lost a lot of platinum by doing that, but I've gained a lot of essences. And that's from, I started at about level 14 through level 30, so that gives you a pretty good idea. You can get up to about 100. If you do that, you can get to about a level 100. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not, because the way the curve is very steep, so you can gain these first 100 levels very, very easily, and it gets harder. The next 100 are much harder, and then the last 100 are 100 and so are even harder. So the way it works is every 10 levels is another level that you can create shards for. So right now I can create level 10 shards, no fail. I'm pretty close on level 11 shards. Once I'm at 110, I'll be able to make level 11 shards, no fail. And so to get up to level, crafting goes up to like level 340, or 34 rather. So you can make a level 34 item with minimum level 30. Um, and so you need to get to about crafting level 340 if you want to do that. However, if you want to make lower level items, you can make any item in the game once you get to 250, but you'll only be able to make it up to level 25. So that's my goal, is I'd love to get to 250, if not this life, the next life, then I can craft every item in the game. You don't actually need to get to 250, because if you're close, you could use one of these success boosters to make sure you succeed. So if I get to 240, that along with a 10% booster is probably enough to get me to where I can craft something, uh, you know, pretty safely. I'm going to make a few other stops. I think these marks of House Cannith are the most important, but there's a few other ones. So I'm going to pause it while I go over to the next stop. All right, so the next, you'll easily have enough Silver Flame favor to talk to this armor. And these healing potions are the take the highest levels. But if you want to get a Mark of the Silver Flame that's used for crafting, I'm just going to get 30 of these. I don't think I'll need 30, but I'm just going to, if I have one in my bag, I might as well have 30. They're pretty cheap. And there's a few recipes in the game that require these Silver Flame marks, and so you want to have these in your bag just in case you need it and you don't happen to have the favor. They can drop in the game very rarely, but they're pretty expensive to buy. Rarely available in the auction house. More likely you'd have to go to the Astral Shard auction house. And as a free-to-play player, I don't even have access to the Astral Shard auction house, so it's not an option for me. So I'm just going to stock up here. I'm going to pause it while I make my next stop. All right, I'm in House Amaranth, or not House Amaranth. I'm in Amaranth now, and I'm talking to the Yugoloth Alchemist. He's the vendor for Yugoloth favor, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the 30 of these marks. And again, these are used in crafting, and you don't want to be missing these when the time comes. So you want to make sure that you have them in your bag. And then there's also some of these other potions here, and I believe Fury is the strength. And just in case I ever need strength, for example, in the Tempest Spine, I'm going to go ahead and, sorry about the phone in the background, I'm going to try to get this volume off. Just in case you ever need the strength, for example, it's probably the place I could have used a +2 strength a few times. I'm going to go ahead and just get 10 of these, and I'll just keep them in my backpack when I get high enough level. And I'm not going to really use these because these also come with negatives. But I'll just put 10 of them in there for just in case I need them, and I'll double check and make sure I'm not missing something. But 2 strength is just not enough to deal with the negatives. And so I'm going to pause it while I head back to the House Cannith Crafting Hall. So back at the Cannith Crafting Hall, we always want to work with this bound shards crafting device. Unbound shards I would stay away from. Even if somebody asks you to craft something, I would avoid it. I would really encourage, if you have a friend that wants you to craft something because they find out you have crafting levels, I would encourage them to craft to level up their own crafting. It's not very hard, and it takes a lot less materials with bound crafting than unbound crafting. So, if someone gives you the materials to make it, sure, you might as well make it. But I would first suggest that they actually level up their own crafting because, from this life, I'm not even finished yet, and I already have 37,000 essences. So essences are pretty easy to get. The materials, on the other hand, are very hard to get. And the unbound crafting costs more materials. It costs more purified Eberron dragon shards. It costs more collectibles. And what you'll find with crafting is that is your limiting factor, not the essences. Essences you can come by very easily. The other things can be harder to get. And particularly certain level ranges, you just end up getting less crafting materials. And level ranges correspond to the 6 tiers of collectibles. And what I found is I get a lot of the first tier and a lot of the last tier. But some of the tiers, like 4 and 5, I don't get nearly as many collectibles in those levels because those levels go by so fast. All right, so the plan I'm going to show you is a plan that was actually kind of invented by my guild, but widely used across pretty much by I think just about everybody in the game now. Uh, the plan was documented on the Lamania forums, but there's something under the crafting section that was based on that plan. He gives proper reference to it in his initial post. Um, but his name is Tolls, Tols, and the title of the thread under the crafting forum is Cannith Crafting a Leveling Plan. And so it takes the basic idea and gives just a lot more data and information around it, as well as providing a lot of other useful information. So I'd recommend not using that Lamania post, but using the post that forum poster Tolls created with the plan. And basically the idea is that for you want to sort this by XP and go ahead and change it to 300. We're not near that level now, but let's just stick it to 300. And what it's going to do is show you the things that are the most, sorted by the most experience you'll get. As you can see it here, crafting XP 650, crafting 225, crafting 127, and then it shows you your chance of success. If you take this percentage and you multiply it by the crafting XP, you'll see that the system always rewards the more risky crafting recipes. So you get more XP on average, even though you only get it 1 in 5 times. You'll get a little more from this versus you using these other methods, but it's not much. Without a crafting booster, on average you'll get 130 from this, you'll get 119 from this on average, and you'll get 109 from this. And that's again just taking the crafting XP and multiplying the percentage. But this doesn't factor in crafting success boosters. So if I now take a 10% booster and say that, so that chance is 30% multiplied by the 650, all of a sudden the XP goes from 130 to 195, it goes from 119 to 142, and it goes from 109 to 122. If I instead use a 25% booster, I don't have very many of those, but if I use that, my chance would go to 45%, and now I am averaging 293 XP per craft here. I'm averaging 176. So that's 293 compared to 130 with no booster, 176 compared to 119, and 127 compared to 109. So you can see that, especially with crafting success boosters, the payback even gets better with these. There is a 35% success booster available only from the DDO store. They're pretty cheap relatively, considering how little are needed to actually do this. But if you use a 35% booster from the DDO store, your payback increases from on average 130 to 358. From here it goes from 119 to 198, and from here it goes from 109 to 127. So it didn't change because whether you use a 25 or 35% here, you pretty much just cap out at the 127 XP. You know, you're guaranteed to get it every time, and you're close. It only goes from 109 to 127 using a big success booster. So you don't really want to use a success booster to get you over 100%. There's no benefit going over 100%. All right, so these recipes can be as little as 3%, and so when it's 3%, that payback is even bigger, you know, because you go from 3% to 13% with a 10%. With a 25, you go from 3 to 28, and with a 35, you go from 3 to 38. But there's more than just that number to consider. The other thing to consider is that when you fail a recipe, you lose some of the essences, and so you're going to burn through your essences quicker if you use these lower recipes than the higher recipes. Nonetheless, I think because essences are pretty easy to get, and my goal is just to get as far as I can this life, I'm going to start with the 10% boosters using the lowest recipe. But first I'm going to take this crafting XP elixir. Unlike a regular like XP elixir that only counts down while you're in a quest, this counts down in public areas, and that's because crafting is done in a public area. So you only get this benefit for 30 minutes. That's more than enough time for this crafting session. So I'm going to go ahead and take this now. And I'm going to drag this 10% booster over here. And I'm going to pick this recipe, and I have a 30% chance, so be prepared for a lot of fails. And I got success. All right, and also type the word level in here, because you only want to see the level recipes. You don't want to waste purified Eber and Dragon Shard fragments, and you don't want to waste any collectibles on this. All right, so we're not quite ready for this. You can't choose this 10% recipe. Well, actually, it won't give you the craft button. It'll tell you the percentage, but it won't give you this button. So this has to be above 0% to even try it. So this is the best we can do, and so we're going to go ahead and give it a try. Failure, and that's okay. I mean, you know, that's going to happen, right? And sometimes it seems like you get in a streak of failures, and that's okay. All right, so now we could stay here at 15%. So my crafting level has shot all the way up to 113. I gained several levels from this so far. I'm going to instead go here. All right, so now, you know, a 10% chance. On average, I'm getting 245 experience if I just do the math. And I'm getting 490 with a 20%. So it's, again, that payback is pretty good, but I'm going to lose a lot of essences. That's okay. I'm prepared to lose a lot of essences, but I'm going to keep on doing this lowest one. Failure, again, not, you know, 1 in 5 chance of succeeding, so expect a lot of failures. And at these lower recipes, we're using less essences, so it's okay. That's like 7 or 8 in a row, and I've heard that it kind of bugs to where it just always fails, and I've kind of never believed that, but this is making me start to believe it. All right, so I'm just going to clear this, reset it, try again. So kind of bad luck there with these, you know, 1 in 5 chance, and we've done a lot of chances. And all right, so there it is, and it's still the best we can get, but now we have a better chance of it. We get less XP, but we should fail less and go through less essences. Okay, so now we've gained all the way to 121. All right, again, this is a 3% recipe. So one strategy we can take is to use these 25% on the 3%. I'm going to stick with this just because as we get up higher levels, every level costs more essences. So I'm going to want to save these for the higher level recipes. So let's give it a try. Again, failed. And we have 7503, and let's see how many we lose on a fail. Let me try that again. 7358. So pretty good number, 100 and some odd essences. All right, and we gained some crafting levels. A lot of crafting levels there. We're at 138, and we haven't even gone through the first stack of 10,000 yet. And now we're up to 70% chance. I'm just going to clear this, see what our best chance is now. Always hit clear after you succeed. And now it's this 26% or 36% recipe, you know, and you can see the crafting XP is going up too. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. Success on the first try, that's a great thing. That brings me up to level 139. Clear. This is still our best chance. Alright, success, and that gets me to 141. So I should be able to now make, you know, usually when you go to when you cross a 10 threshold, like, you know, the 130s to 140, you should be, 41 rather, you should be able to get to the next crafting level. And again, it's a 3% chance. It's starting to get more expensive with essences, so I could use a 25% here. In fact, let me just do it just to try it out. I hate to waste these too much on these lower level recipes, but that gets us a much better chance. So let's try it a couple times here. And I don't want to waste any more. That's 4. I'm going to stick with my 10% boosters. Unfortunately, you know, it's just essences are a less rare commodity, so even though we're going through a lot of essences, that's okay. This is another one of those. I'm just going to reset it just because I don't, you know, it could be an urban myth, but people say sometimes you get stuck and always fails if you don't reset it. So I'm going to try that since it seemed like 13% chance should be about 1 in 8, and I did way more than 8 tries and still failing. Wow, that's a lot of tries. I'll have to go back in the video and check that. That's 25 or so tries. So I'm just going to close the machine just because I've heard this sort of urban myth that it gets stuck. You know, I don't know if I believe it or not, but this is kind of making me almost believe it. Seeing, you know, bad luck. Sort again, level, sort by XP. Let me combine these essences here. Put a success booster in. Well, this is like way over 30 fails in a row. That's the odds of that are pretty low. But let me try the 25% booster here, just because now my essences are starting to get. I'm below 25,000. Okay, now I'm at a 43% chance. That was worth 1 success booster to get past that. And now we're at 10. So I think I'll save these 25s for the 3% chances. And so specifically what people claim the bug is, which I'm sort of believing after watching this, is that it kind of bugs out and that the success booster isn't counting. And I have to say I am starting to believe that. So if you believe that, sort of which I'm starting to, then you'll want to reset after every success. All right, so succeeded there. So it sure does seem that the success booster gets to where it doesn't count, because I mean 30 tries on a 13% chance, the odds of that are low, and it seems like we're having better luck with it. So again, I'm gonna do sort by XP. I'm gonna type the word level in because I don't want to waste all these other good materials, and I'm gonna change the range to 300 to see the lowest chance I can get, and that's 20%. So I'm going to stick, let's see where we're at in terms of level. 156, so if I get to 200, I'd be very happy. I'm going to go ahead and use a 10% booster here, and at this point I've gone through enough essences that I'm going to start using my 25 whenever I have a low chance, 10 or less. All right, success. So I'm going to close the machine, change this to 300, sort by XP, and it looks like that's my best chance, so I'm going to go ahead and try it with a 10% booster. All right, I'm going to close out again every time I have a success just to make sure that, again, I've always thought it was an urban myth, but now I'm starting to believe it since I'm actually seeing it. Let's see, let me go to 300. And so this is my best, and let me type in the word level. And this is my best chance, so I'm going to again use the 10% booster. All right, let's see where we're at. And I still have almost 20 minutes on my XP booster. All right, so we're not quite up to where we can use the next 3%, so I'm going to stick with the 10% booster on this one more time. And when I gain, the next level I gain should be good. Okay, so there we gained a level. I'm going to close it out, type in the word level. And then use a 25% booster. And so now I have a 28% chance of success, roughly 1 in 4 by upgrading to this 25% booster. And there we go. And that gave me a lot of success. So I'm up to 170. So gaining quite a bit. I'm hoping I can get to 200. I'm pretty close. I'm going to use a 10% for this one. Gets me to a 43% chance. Six fails in a row, 43% chance. This is, try it again. I'm going to close it. I mean, that's 9 fails in a row. So I definitely feel like the percentages aren't lining up with my experience, which could be bad luck. But again, there's this mythology, or I shouldn't say mythology, because it sure seems like it might be true that the machine gets stuck and the success boosters don't count. And I was not a believer in that, and I am now after watching this and seeing so many, seeing my percent success chance actually be less than uh, my experience. So let me see where I'm at now. 171. All right, so the levels are coming pretty slow now. So I definitely want to use the 25% booster here. And you can see that's going to be 10,000 crafting XP. Crazy. And it should take me on average about 4 times. I'm On general, I'm averaging less than, so that's 4 times. It didn't make it. There we go, 5th time. Clear this out and type in the word level so we don't see any of the other ones. And it looks like that's still my best chance, but I'm going to go to the 10% booster now. All right, clear. Still this one at 10% booster, and I'm going to, again, because of the concerns that the success booster bugs out, which it sure seems like that's a reasonable theory based on what I'm seeing. I'm going to go ahead and just type in the word level, change the range to 300, and choose this one more time. I got a 46% chance. All right, it looks like I'm still not there, so let me try it again. Oh, I forgot to start over. Put the 10% booster in. All right, back to another 3%, one that'll give me huge XP, 10,993 versus 800. So I'm going to put a 25% booster in, and should on average take me about 4 times. All right, 3 that time. All right, let me put a bigger stack of essences in, and I'm gonna close this machine, change the level range to 300, type in the word level, change this to XP, and my best option is this. I'm gonna use a 10% booster. And I've still got some time left on 30, so I'm not going to be afraid to use most of my essences up. I do want to keep some for actual crafting. So this should be on average 3 times, and I'm like 5 or 6 now. Seems like it gets stuck that way. There we go. Success. So again, I'm going to close it. Put the 10% booster in. All right, success on the first try. Clear. Sort by XP. Put a 10% booster in. So I have 13 minutes left, so I'm doing good. All right, clear, and I'm almost to the next one. So I'm gonna close this down because of the. It sure seems reasonable to me that what people believe that the success booster stop counting after you hit a success sure does seem right to me after watching this. So we'll type level and then XP. Put a 10% booster in, and should give me 50-50 chance. All right. Let's see if that changed things at all. Nope, I still gonna have to give this one more shot at the 40%. I must not have gained a crafting level. Okay, now I did. Crafting level gained, and I've got a 3% chance there. So back, I'm getting low on the 25% boosters. That's okay. Let's see what level I'm at. 191. So I mean, if I get to 200, I'll be happy. I mean, 250 is where I want to get to. Eventually, that probably will be next life, and that's fine. If you use store items, you'd probably already be to 250. But I'm doing this totally free to play, everything on this account. All right, so 3%, and I want to use a 25% booster here to increase my odds from 3%, and you can see it's 11,000 crafting XP when I succeed. Average should take me 4 times. 2, that's good. I needed that because I've had worse than average luck. All right, so now I'm gonna again Change the level range to 300. Type the word level in here to get rid of all these other recipes. And I'm at a 23%, so I'm going to use a 10% booster. It's 4 tries. I got the 4th try. I think I'll be doing that recipe again, most likely. Put a 10% booster in. Gets me to 40%. Success, but no level gain, so try it again. Oop, failure. I'm going to close it. Down to 11 minutes, but I think that's still going to be plenty of time. 10% booster. I'm down to about 16,000 essences, so okay, level gained. Still, that's going to be my best recipe. But now a 46% chance. Failure. Success. Didn't gain a level though. So the leveling goes slower now, and except when you're hitting those low percentage ones successfully. And if I could have 2,000 or 3,000 essences left, I think I'll be happy. That's about all I need for crafting, and I'll be getting more of this life. So, all right, let me change this to 300. Okay, 0%, so I'm getting pretty close. Once I gain that next level, then I should be good to do another low percentage one. So let's put this as 10% booster. Let's stick in some essences. And 53% chance. Did not gain a level from that. Again, the experience is much lower. Now we're over 50%. And we gained a crafting level. So now we are at 201. So I'm pretty happy with 201. That'll give us access to a lot of recipes, no fail. And again, if we had, if we would have had, if we store items here, we'd be probably already, getting close to 300. I believe it was around 30,000 or so essences with the store items get you to 320 or something around there. All right, so now I've got a 3% chance. I'm going to type in the word level. I'm going to put a 25% booster in there and 12,000 XP if I succeed. So that's a pretty nice one. That probably will get me a level. It's 3 fails, 4 fails, 5 fails. Unfortunately, we're getting low on these, so I'd like to 6 fails, 7 fails. 8th try was the charm, and down to 25% boosters left, and about 12,000 essences. So that's getting pretty close. Let me type 300, and we're pretty close to probably where we're going to get to. I'm at 206. Won't get much higher than this now. I'm going to use a 10% booster, which brings us to a 30% chance. Let's see, 3 tries, 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries. We gained a level, that's good. 300 and the word level. And my success booster. 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries, 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries, 7 tries, 8 tries. So I definitely feel I'm either having bad luck or the percentage isn't working quite as advertised, because I'm consistently taking longer than I should. Every so often I don't. I do it in 1 or 2, but definitely am feeling that way based on what I'm seeing. So let's go to let's combine these. We're still a little over 10,000 and 40% chance. I'm liking that. But the essences are 230 per fail. So let me. All right, we've now crossed below the 10,000 essence mark. I'm at 98.51. So I'm going to go until I'm down to about 2,000, because I think that'll give me enough to craft next life, and you know, frees up some inventory space for me. So let me change this to 300. It's only going to show me levels that are 0% or higher. So essences, and I'm going to stick with the 10% boosters. Hope I'll be able to hope I'll have one more crack at a high XP recipe. I only have 5 left, but that's 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries, 7 tries. 7th try at a 46% chance. Consistently, it seems like I'm consistently failing more than I should, which could just be bad luck. 210, so I'm 1 away from the next. At 211, I'll be at the 0% on the next level. Or no, I'll be rather I'll be at 3%. So at 210, I'll be at on the 10s you'll always be at 0, and then on the when you're 1 over, you'll be at 3%. So this will be the last try at for this shard, and success on the first try. But the bad news is that didn't gain a crafting level there, so still need to focus on this. One, two. Okay, still didn't gain a level. But even when we're not getting a level, our percent chance is going up a little bit every time. Put 300 in here. All right, so that gets us to level 211. So it's good. I mean, 200 was about where I wanted to get to. I'm a little higher than that, so I'm happy. I also feel that my luck has been below average. I'm not sure if that's luck or if so this should on average take me a little less than 4 times, and it's been consistently more than that. It'll give me 12,000 experience if I succeed. If I can get lucky here, that's 1 fail, 2 fails, 3 fails, 4th try. So that was about average. That's good. And I'm down to 6,000 essences, so I'm probably not going to get another too much higher. 216 is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And you can see at 100 I was less than 10,000 experience. I'm at 135,000, so it's a big jump from 100. Getting to 100 is pretty easy. Getting from 100 to 200 is hard. Getting from here to 300 is even harder. But we'll just keep plugging away. I feel pretty comfortable. My next life I'll be at 250. And I'm going to use for these last ones, I'm going to use a 10% recipe, and I'm not going to use this last 25%. So it should be a 30% chance. It's a lot of fails in a row. And I'm going to try to just, I'm going to try to stop once I get to around 2,000. I'm not going to, it won't be exactly, but when I'm kind of in that neighborhood, I'm going to stop. That's 3 fails. 4 fails and a 36% chance. Again, just consistently seems like it's my success is less than what it's indicating. At 3,400 essences, so 40%. That's 1 fail, 2 fails, 3 fails, 4 fails, 5 fails, and I'm at 2,500. 6 tries. So again, just really consistently, I'm not succeeding as much as you would think, but based on the estimate, I'm at 2,300 essences. I'll give it one more try maybe, or 2 more tries with the 10% booster. Yeah, there we go. Gained a level, and I'm going to stop right there. So that got me all the way to level 219, which I'm pretty happy with. My luck was certainly not average if you looked at based on the percentages shown. But my goal this life was to get to 200 crafting level. It might have actually been 150. I think I upped it when I realized I was getting a lot more essences. But so I've definitely exceeded where I wanted to be. Now, if I looked at sort by XP now, and let's see if I don't think I can go to 251. So I can do recipes up to 240, and so right now I'm pretty close to being able to do level 250 recipes. Even though I'm not at level 250, I can do all the way up to 240 with some chance, and so I have a 46% chance of doing a 240 recipe. So feel pretty good about that. And that's basically Cannith crafting leveling. Again, the post I would recommend for leveling up is under the crafting forum, DDO forum. It's called Cannith Crafting Leveling Plan, and it's by a poster named Tolls, Tols.